Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Brotherly Banter. My name is Juan. I'm here with my co-hosts and brothers, Jesus and Aldo.
What up? How about them Cowboys, baby? Finally get that win that we needed, man. Get back on track.
Yes, let's go, baby.
Got a lot of stuff for you this week. We're going to dive straight into it. I'll let these guys have the floor since they finally got a win.
Finally, man. Finally. You know, really what it is, we get the win and the Steelers get the L. So, we finally get to take control again. And you know what? It was a bounce back win. We needed it. Thursday night coming off a short week out of an ass whooping. You know, honestly, we needed it. It was a bounce back win. You know, Thursday night coming off of a short week. I mean, it did cost a lot. You know, we lost Michael Parsons, we lost D-Law, but we got the win, and now it's on to a tough matchup. Sunday Night Football against the Illuminators.
The Illuminators. But did we really think we were going to lose to the Giants? Come on. When was the last time Dak lost to the Giants? 2016? I mean,
I don't know.
It was a gimme.
I was seeing a lot from you guys on going in worried playing the Giants.
Nah, I was never worried against the Giants. Never.
Man.
You know, but I knew Neighbors was going to go off a little bit and he was going to have a great game, but I didn't have no worries that the Cowboys were going to win.
Hey, Neighbors is the truth.
He is, man.
We talked about it a little bit last week. He might be the best receiver that the Giants have had. He is
He
good.
looked every bit of that.
That concussion and that last play, I didn't really see it, but man,
I didn't
must
see
have
how
been
it
serious.
I saw it.
You know,
and the reason it happened is because he went all for the ball, bro. He put all out there, bro. He had no concern of his own body, bro, and that's what did it. That's a true player right there.
Hey,
bro.
and he was in. He toe tapped. He caught it. He was in.
If he would have had control, that would have been big.
Yeah, and there was a few plays before that where he had some like pains and and I thought he was gonna probably go to the tent, but man, he fought through that.
He's
game.
a dog, bro.
Yeah,
I
I like him. And it's not just because I have him in my fantasy, but I like him.
Now I will say though, Giants had a good chance to win that game as the game was going on.
Yeah.
There were some throws that Daniel Jones was just not making that night, but there was also some throws that he was making and putting on a dime, and his receivers were dropping the ball. Not Neighbors specifically. I think it was Wan'Dale Robinson.
Yeah, Wan'Dale.
He had a few drops.
Yeah.
But oh my goodness, Giants looked good. I'll give that to them. But it was a good game. Cowboys snuck away with one.
Yeah.
What was it? 20-15.
Yeah.
So they got away with one. They're gonna come into Pittsburgh on Sunday. That's gonna be a good matchup. There's Sunday Night Football. It's hard to go into Heinz Field. Well, what I remember is Heinz Field. It's Acrisure now, but it's always hard to go in there, especially on Sunday Night Football, and try to get a win. So that's going to be exciting. I can't wait for that. I think every 4 years Steelers and Cowboys play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's perfect. That brings us into the
yeah, and it's good for the Cowboys because it gives them time since they have the bye week to go
mini bye week.
Yeah, mini bye week to go ahead and get some of those aches and pains healed up. Daniel Jones still went 29 for 40. I mean, that's not too bad, but he did pretty good. 281 yards. I mean, he did have the pick, but I mean, he still played well.
That was like a Hail Mary kind of pick.
Yeah, that's garbage time,
so
but it's all good.
It was good. It was good. I mean, Neighbors, man, 12 receptions, 115 yards, baby.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Like, I'm not a Giants fan, or I'm not trying to root for Neighbors, but I'm rooting for Neighbors because he's in my fantasy, but he definitely took care of me this weekend.
You're welcome.
I know. I appreciate it. I should send him a care package, right? Like, it thanks, Neighbors. Appreciate you for helping my fantasy.
No comment.
I hope you lose the rest of the season.
Man. All right, on to the Steelers, man. Let's talk about them. Let's see. How you feeling coming off of that?
It was a frustrating loss just because I felt like we beat ourselves. We came out flat. It got down to an early deficit, 17-0. But then they started to turn it on in the second half, and we just kept shooting ourselves in the foot. Like, we had opportunity after opportunity to score the ball. George Pickens fumbled within the 10-yard line. We were driving. There was our game-winning drive that we were about to make, and the center snapped it before Justin Fields was ready, and we lost 15 yards and made it 3rd and 22. So just shooting ourselves in the foot. We're also fighting the refs that whole game. So that one was tough, but fucking Joe Flacco, man. The fucking Steelers killer, bro. Who would have thought? Big Ben was in attendance. He was there, and he talked a little bit about on his podcast, like, the feeling of seeing Joe Flacco go out. He would have much rather have had Anthony Richardson play than Joe Flacco because he just knows Joe Flacco is that guy, bro.
I mean, we've said it time and time on this podcast, man. Like, we need Joe Flacco to start in this league, bro. Like no one's listening. So finally he starts, and look, but it wasn't just him, because obviously he got in and he kind of just, I would say, like, controlled the game enough to come out victorious. But man, their offensive line kind of nullified TJ Watt. Their defensive line was getting after there, at least for the first half, because the second half, Justin Fields did turn it up, got those two tutties on the ground. So
carried.
Yeah.
Justin Fields carried us in the second half.
He did great. I love Justin Fields. So I'm glad he's being successful. I'm glad he's being put in a position. It just sucks for the Steelers, you know what I mean? But I'm glad he's in a good position.
Justin Fields had a great game. He 312 yards, 1 touchdown passing, 2 touchdowns rushing. He had 55 yards on the ground. He literally carried us in the second half. Yeah. Our defense did not show up. For them being a top defense in the NFL, they just laid an egg.
Which brings us back to Jesus' point from the previous weeks is they can't sustain.
That's not sustainable. Yeah,
not sustainable.
It's one game. I'm not gonna hold them against it. If they show me 5-6 games in a row that they're playing bad, like, yeah, I'm gonna talk shit about them. But no, they had a bad game. Also, TJ Watt was getting held on almost every play.
No,
it wasn't being called. Wasn't being called.
No,
at all. But
you would say that though.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm more confident leaving this game. It's going to leave a bad taste in the defense mouth. They're not going to come out and do that again. We're going to need it to come out for them to come out strong against the Cowboys and play well on defense against the Cowboys. But I'm more confident after this game in Justin Fields than I was before this game.
Yeah,
he showed me every week he's gotten better and better and better. Mm-hmm. Going into the season, my thought was they're going to play Russell Wilson once he's healthy. But we're 3-1. Justin Fields has only gotten better as the weeks have gone on, and I don't think they should bring in Russell. I really don't. If Justin Fields wins this week and has a very good win over the Cowboys, I think we stay with him. We stick with him. He's going to be our guy, not only now but for the future, and it's gonna be good to see. They're going to be pissed off going into this week, so I feel bad for Cowboys fans.
Nah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. We're going to have a young, hungry group ready to get after Justin Fields, so it'll be interesting, man.
No, and I agree. I like Justin Fields, and I have him in my fantasy, but like you were saying, 312 yards. But what's so nice about the 312 yards is there was no interceptions.
0.
I mean, he had the fumbles, but the interceptions, no interceptions while he's passing. That was really good.
Well,
so
that's been the best thing about him so far is he hasn't been turning over the ball, which has been his biggest thing.
Yeah. And those fumbles years. weren't lost. They were just drops. But
yeah, we'll see. It's gonna be a good game. See. I can't wait. Yeah. We'll be there. McIntyre's.
And then again, to bring you back to the Flacco, Jesus, like we've been talking about teams that need QBs that can come off and just room. Be dependable, like Miami, right?
Yeah, they need
and
that.
Flacco comes up for an injured Anthony Richardson, which I don't know. I think that's kind of a concern for me.
Oh
but
yeah.
Joe Flacco coming in 16-26. 168 yards, 2 touchdowns. Like, come on, man. Flacco is Mr. Dependable. If you're looking for somebody that can be Mr. Dependable, are you looking for him in the offseason? Because I don't know what the situation with Anthony Richardson is. But
if I'm Miami, I'm calling.
No, there's no point now because Anthony Richards, we don't know what's up.
Yeah, so, like, we don't know what's up with him. They're not gonna. They're not
Colts
gonna
are in a great spot to have.
Yeah, they are.
To have a Joe Flacco behind.
Good problem.
For sure.
Fucking problem. Hey, JT hurt though too.
But when
high ankle sprain. So
this is like last season, right? The shoulder injury. Like he was out the remainder of the year for that. Like
that's his problem.
Yeah, his injuries. Right. I'm not saying he's not a bad QB, but like. Man, injuries can
not even in just the NFL, but even throughout his whole career. Supposedly there was a stat. I don't know how true it is, right? But there was a stat that from high school to NFL now, he's only started like 27 games.
Yeah, I think I've seen something like that.
Yes.
We're talking about Flacco?
No. Anthony Richardson.
Oh, Anthony. Oh, yes, that is a true stat. He came out of nowhere that draft. Yeah.
For the amount of time he played, right? He threw 3 for 4, 71 yards. Like he was playing well, but. Man, those injuries.
I'm gonna say in the beginning he was looking good, man. Yeah. It's just crazy. I think it also boils down to coaching because he gets hurt, right, and he comes back into the game, and they run the fucking read option, and he takes it, and then takes this weird hit. And, and I'm like, why do you run that? You know what I mean? If you know he's coming in after a hit, like run something else. Make him for sure hand the ball off with a running play instead of giving him an option.
Yeah,
but I'm telling you, I was more worried about Joe Flacco being in the game than I was Anthony Richardson being in the game.
Right, because Anthony Richardson ran for 3 carries, 24 yards. I mean, Joe Flacco also ran for 2 carries, 3 yards. So that's kind of their game plan. You know what I mean? So their plan is to run the QB as well.
I did see Flacco doing the option. It was weird.
Yeah, so
it's like I know he's never going to grab the ball.
That's how they run their offense.
Yeah, but Anthony Richardson is like, it's either you see him do a play and you're like, holy shit, this is the best thing I've ever seen in football, or it's how the fuck is this guy starting in the NFL?
Yeah,
boom
like there's no like limping off the field.
There's no in between with Anthony Richardson, and that's kind of like the high and low you take with drafting that kind of quarterback, but. I don't know. We'll
hopefully he figures it out. Yeah, I like him. I like that whole team, man.
I think he'll be good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, Seahawks, they fall to 3-1. They lose to the Lions. That was such a good game.
Great Monday night game, bro.
Such a good game to end.
I love the Lions, low key, dog. Like they're you know what I mean? The Mo City Don, you know what I'm saying? They deserve some love, bro. Like they have a great running group. They have great receivers. I feel like Jared Goff has gotten like slept on.
So much.
Dude, you know what I mean?
I always root for Jared Goff because of how dirty they did him in LA with the Rams.
Bro.
What do you mean? Bruh. They won a Super Bowl.
No, they went to a Super Bowl.
Okay. Well, they went to the Super Bowl, and then he got traded, and then they won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but
so, I guess it paid off for the Rams, but for
that's what I'm saying. Like they traded him, won a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
like come on.
But he took them to the Super Bowl too.
Yeah, he took them to the Super Bowl. I remember that.
Like,
but they didn't win it.
I hear you. But
Wentz took them to or put the Eagles en route to win the Super Bowl. And Nick Foles comes in, wins it, and it's like, come on, man! Like they forget Carson Wentz.
Yeah, you know what? It's crazy because they even put a statue of Nick Foles.
They put a statue of Nick Foles. You know what I'm saying? With the
but you know what?
Imagine how bad Carson Wentz felt.
That's how fucking toxic that fucking Eagles.
But what I'm saying is that
you know they talk
you might have taken them to the Super Bowl, just like the 49ers went to the Super Bowl with what's his name? The name I will not mention.
Brock Purdy?
No. So that QB that the Niners went to the Super Bowl with, nobody remembers him, right?
Colin Kaepernick?
I said not mention his name.
Oh, that's fucked up.
But I want to say though, you know what I'm saying?
This guy.
Not you bring in somebody who takes you to the Super Bowl and wins it. That was a good trade. Like,
I mean,
would you rather trade for somebody to win the Super Bowl for you? And that's what they did, and that was a good trade. Never regret that trade because that was a good one.
Well, I mean, for the Rams, they probably don't. But like for Goff, I'm pretty sure he was like getting ready to commit suicide, bro. Like you go to Detroit to die.
No, I don't think they went there to die.
You do normally.
You do until you get
a badass head coach.
Exactly,
bro. He's nice
and a bad wide receiver.
Yes,
two of them because J-Mo came up.
This was the thing, right? And Jared Goff talked about it like. He was the guy. He was playing well. He took them to the Super Bowl. He was their future. He bought a big-ass house in L.A., brand new, just bought it, and boom.
But you don't do that.
They trade
because they trade everybody.
Bro, but
at the end of the day, it's a business.
No one expected Jared Goff to be traded.
I did. I actually I wasn't all in with Jared Goff.
That was a shocker.
You know why? Because when I watched him in the combine, they were talking about, oh, his hands are small. His hands are small. Blah, 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 blah. You know what? I don't care about how big or small your hands are when you're throwing the ball. But I was like, you know what? He went in there and they threw water on his football so he can say, hey, my hands are big enough for me to throw that football.
Yeah,
and it wasn't really great. So I was like, you know what?
No, but he was still, wasn't he a first round pick?
He was the first overall? He was still a first round pick, but still, like, after I saw that, I was like, you know what?
But I'm not gonna judge him off the combine shit. I'm gonna judge him off the way he plays.
But if Matthew Stafford's available, you're going for Matthew Stafford. And they made that choice, and they paid off.
I like Matthew Stafford. He can sling the ball. He is a top tier guy for sure. That trade ended up working out for the Rams. I just thought it was fucked up how they did Jared Goff.
I agree.
But it ended up working, and that's kind of why that's why I like Jared Goff's story, because he went to Detroit where careers go to die.
We all thought he was going to die there.
And they flipped it, bro. They didn't go to the playoffs for 50-something years, and he got them to the playoffs. They got a solid squad, solid head coach, great defense. They're wagging right now, bro.
No, I'm not saying they're not. They're a good team.
Dan Campbell was really turning. I like the way he goes. We talked about that too in one of our recent episodes where like Dan Campbell is just nice, bro.
Which is going to be tough because they're going on a bye week.
Yeah,
it's perfect.
And who do they play off their bye week?
Ooh, refresh me.
We them boys.
Let's go.
So the Cowboys are gonna have to take 2 L's back to back, bro.
Back to back.
That's gonna be crazy.
Bro, these guys are over here, throwing 40 bombs on.
But that Monday night was good because St. Brown. I mean, he had a heck of a game.
Hey,
how about that pass?
They beat a good team, bro.
They did.
Seahawks are a good team.
They can run the ball. They got receivers.
And they don't talk about
defense.
They don't talk about the Seahawks enough.
They don't. They don't talk about Geno enough. They don't.
No,
Geno's
you're right.
slinging it.
Last year he played really well, and
this year he's kind of picking up where he left off. He's been throwing a couple of good balls. He's minimizing mistakes. He's still making them, but
Seahawks defense could be better, but their offense is rolling.
Yeah, and it took him a little while to kind of get the hang of things, but it's expected when you come from West Virginia. You know what I'm saying?
Side note: Detroit Lions unis were fire.
Oh
yeah, man.
I like those.
They have these kits for this year, and when I watched them when they presented them out before the preseason, man, they were really nice.
Hey, low key, you know how Aldo said that he has the Browns as his his other team.
Oh, don't even dare.
If there's a team I like to watch,
don't even dare.
It would be the Lions, bro.
Not on Thanksgiving, man.
Oh yeah, I don't fuck
Come on, man. Thanksgiving, no.
I need Washington. I need them to lose, and I need a turkey leg in my hand, bro.
No, man.
Hey, it's gonna be a good mix up though. Now seeing the Lions win on Thanksgiving, bro.
Fuck yeah. Dude, that sucks.
It's not gonna happen.
Cool. It's gonna be cool, man.
It's not gonna happen.
Good job, Lions. You're good.
As long as they don't play the Cowboys on Thanksgiving, which they don't.
Let's talk about the true.
Oh yeah, it's Ravens dominate the Bills 35-15. Derrick Henry is still keen. I think he had 215 total yards, something like that.
Stat man.
Man,
he had a great game.
Yeah, and look, we all watched the Ravens Chiefs game, week 1, and then they lost week 2. We're like, man, what's up with these Ravens?
Yep.
But one thing that kept consistent was Derrick Henry, which I just regret the Cowboys never going for him.
Yeah.
Or not saying they never did, but not paying him. But he kept them consistent, and they look good. The Ravens look good.
They do. I hate to say it, but they do.
Yeah. Jerry Jones, fuck you. You ruined my season by not getting King Henry when we have so much money for this year. I hate you.
No, man.
Yeah, it was a bad game defensively for the Bills. Offensively, they couldn't get a lot going. It's hard to go to M&T Bank Stadium.
Yeah,
that is a crazy place.
Bro,
to play.
They get loud. For an open dome. For an open stadium.
I hate going to play at M&T, man. It's the worst.
And for Henry, he ran 199 rush yards, but what was key for them too?
Didn't he get that 87 yard on that?
He had 100 reception yards.
Oh yeah, man. He had that one touchdown, bro, where they threw it to him in the end zone. And honestly, they said that was his first reception touchdown.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. He's been in the league that long.
He has on the ball. And I remember when we started this on week 1, and I was telling you what we wanted and what we should have expected from Henry to be with the Cowboys. This year is the year he's showing everybody that he's still that man.
Absolutely, 100%.
He's still keen. For real.
Worth every penny, bro.
Worth it.
And they're clicking right now, bro, because you have to worry about Lamar either running or throwing, or you have to stack the box to make sure you stop King Henry. Yeah. That's tough, bro. For a defensive coordinator trying to game plan against that, dang, good luck. Good luck for the rest of the league. They put him on notice. Good job, y'all.
Chiefs beat the Chargers 17-10, defensive game. Big story out of that. Rashee Rice might have a torn ACL. Not confirmed yet.
That's a big one, man. I picked them up just in case because in my league they dropped them like an idiot. But you never know.
I know a thing or two about dropping players on fantasy.
Oh, and I know about picking them up.
I learned my lesson with that one.
No, very good.
Hey, I keep every day, every week, I'm like, man, should I drop Puka? But I'm not.
Oh, drop him.
I'm not dropping.
Please drop him.
Hey, like the hyenas in Lion King, bro. We be there for that fucking zebra meat, baby. Hey, but back to that game, bro. The Chargers, dude, their defense looks good. I think we all counted them out in the beginning of the season, and they've put teams like the Steelers and other teams through some shit. Where we thinking it's gonna be a cakewalk, and it's really a tough game. So Chargers doing good, but they still, Chiefs are the Chiefs. Although you said it best, man. Chiefs are one of the teams that, even though they are the Chiefs, we don't really talk about them, and they're 4-0, and they're doing it kind of boring,
gritty.
Yeah, gritty.
They're gritty wins.
Winning some close ones with the Falcons and stuff like that. But hey, they're doing it as long as they have Patrick Mahomes and Kelsey, who's damn near looks like he's gonna retire. You know what I mean? Like, they can do it. They can probably get another one, man, before he does.
Yeah, you're right. And I feel like Kelsey's just trying to feel young again.
He's ready for that podcast life.
Yeah, he's trying to make it. He's trying to feel like he's still young, which I mean he ain't old, but football years. I mean, hey man.
But I also
he ain't Grunk.
If you see some of those games too, he still brings all the attention to him. Like,
yeah.
That's I would say a big reason as to why he's not getting the looks and touches that he has before. Is because they swarm to Kelsey anytime he's out there. One or 2 to 3 guys end up in his zone because Patrick Mahomes is looking for him.
Exactly,
yeah.
and which leaves Worthy open, right? Because he's doing really well.
You can't double team everybody.
But I think they're gonna adjust to that because Kelsey really isn't contributing like he was in the past.
No.
I mean, I'm not saying he's done.
I wouldn't say it's because of skill, though. I think it's because teams know that that's Patrick Mahomes' number one target that he loves to go to.
Yeah.
And so they're going to put a linebacker on him. They're going to put some zone coverage on. They're going to try and cover him the best they can to eliminate him and make Patrick Mahomes find other people.
Yeah, but Xavier is good.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not saying just because he's, a UT baby, but hey, man.
Us here in Texas, we all knew that guy was going to
be
fire.
We knew he was a fire.
We knew he was, but
it was like a 55-yard touchdown.
I can't believe
that was Patrick Mahomes' longest touchdown since I think Tyreek Hill. So
he is very Tyreek Hill-esque.
Oh, he's faster for sure.
So it's good. Chiefs are still the Chiefs. That's going to continue to happen. So
and the Chargers didn't play awful. I mean, for the defense, like you were referencing the defense, whenever there's a Sosa on the defense, you can never count them out. Like maybe it's the Sosas, like they're just good when it comes to playing on that defensive side of the ball. Like
he's always hurt though.
Yeah, he is. I mean,
their defense is still good. They have Khalil
Mack. They had the fumble recovery, so
Khalil Mack.
Where on the Chargers, right?
Yeah, Khalil Mack.
Yeah, Mac Daddy, dude.
Nobody talks about him enough. You know what I'm saying? Once he left the Bears, it was kind of like, he was like y'all saying with the Detroit Lions, you go there to die, right? But that's kind of the same thing for him. When he left the Bears, they thought like, okay, well, he's just gonna finish his career.
It's not his fault, man.
But
I feel like
he's still consistently good.
Yeah,
that coach that was there before Harbaugh was terrible.
Brandon Staley,
dude, that was a bad. I've never seen such shitty coaching in my life at such a high level.
Which is crazy, right? Because they just got the new stadium. Like, everything was looking up for them.
That's a deeper story,
you got
too.
Herbert the pervert?
No.
You know what I mean?
Hey, don't make me talk about my QB.
Molesting defenses out here?
There you go.
Okay, where to hide the baby oil,
that's
baby?
That's a bigger story, though, because, like, the ownership with the Chargers, like, they're family-owned. And like the brothers and sisters are like in conflict on trying to sell the team, and like,
for real?
Yeah. There's a bigger story with the Chargers owners.
So it's almost like the Lakers, the Bus family.
Kind of, yeah, very similar. All right, next we got Titans Dolphins snooze fest, boring game. I will say one thing out of that: Dolphin season is Jover. It's gone. I don't think they're gonna do anything this year. I think they got to wrap it up. They said Tua's probably not going to come back till maybe week 8. And
then there was turmoil on the sideline.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
You know what? I felt bad because ESPN took full advantage of, like, what happened with Odell? I didn't see it.
They ain't even dressed. They just looking at him like...
No. You know what's messed up is, like, every chance ESPN's coverage had, they showed a Dolphins, like, player put his head down.
Pissed off.
Talking shit.
I mean, what do you do? You know, like this also goes to show that Tua was making shit happen, and they're missing Tua, and they can't win a game, bro. So I think their season's chalked. I will say Will Levis. We might have seen Will Levis's last snap.
I don't think
as
so.
A starting quarterback.
I don't know, man. You know, Will Levis is tough because he played so well for a little part of the end of the last season.
Yes,
and then this season, maybe it's the running back.
No,
he don't have that running back. No.
That same game, Tony Pollard like busted.
He went crazy.
No, he did, and I get it. You know, we didn't see that coming either because majority of the year he wasn't like playing that well.
And Tajay Spears got a touchdown too.
But I don't know. Like, it's hard to tell with Will because he played. You can see hopes like, oh, this is our QB for the future.
Yeah.
But then now it's like not showing. Like, I don't know.
He started off the year bad. He has the most turnovers right now.
Yeah, like it's something. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's off the field. I don't want to say it's anything off the field, but or I don't know what it is. But I wouldn't give up on him like they're giving up on Bryce.
Yeah,
maybe you want to sit on him. Maybe you want to sit on him a little bit, or there's nobody really to start over him. But
Mason Rudolph.
There's nobody really to start over him.
You don't want to say Mason Rudolph. You only say Mason Rudolph because where did he come from, right?
Mason Rudolph is a good quarterback.
No, he ain't. He ain't good. I'll still start Will Levis.
You say that, but Mason Rudolph came into the game and the offense.
Why isn't he at the Steelers anymore?
Because we got Russell Wilson and Justin Fields.
Okay.
And his contract was
up.
So that's not why. Because they had Kenny Pickett. Where the fuck is Kenny Pickett?
Where is Kenny Pickett?
He was still there when Kenny Pickett was there.
Any QBs that leave Pittsburgh, they're not. You know, if you leave Pittsburgh, then you're not starting anywhere. You'll probably be like second string backup,
Mason Rudolph is
maybe the practice squad.
He came into the game and the whole offense completely changed. He was making the plays that Will Levis couldn't. The run game was doing better. He was sitting better in the pocket, making.
But that's also
throws.
going with Andy Dalton. Everybody's talking about, Bryce Young is trash because look at what Andy Dalton did. But you cannot compare Bryce Young to Andy Dalton because Andy Dalton's been in the league backing up starting QBs for years.
He was
and
a starter
learning
too,
and he was a starter for a while.
And
you cannot compare Bryce to Andy. You cannot say that Bryce.
Trumps. Yeah,
exactly. Bryce don't have that.
I see the point you're trying to make, JJ.
Yes.
I see it.
You said it last week.
You said it's
better
you're right.
for Andy Dalton to start because maybe Bryce Young just
yes, but Will Levis. I'm saying what I'm saying is that Will Levis should be the future of that franchise.
Sure.
If you guide him, right?
Sure.
Don't give up on these guys because Andy Dalton's been in the league for how many years? You know, I can't throw that
15,
out.
I think.
Shit, at least 15, like that.
Man. And he's backed up what types of QBs? Pretty good QBs, right?
Yeah.
So he's seen a lot. He's learned a lot from different offensive coordinators. These young players like Bryce and Will haven't.
Yeah.
They came straight from college. They did pretty good for 1 year, and then the league adapted to them, and now they're like, oh damn, I'm stuck. It's not like college football. So now they're throwing these guys to the curb. No, don't do that because now you're throwing in these veteran QBs who's been in the league for years, learned behind and backed up some really good quarterbacks.
Uh-huh.
Like, of course they're going to contribute. They want to get paid. Andy Dalton's at the end of his career.
Mason
Rudolph is at the end of his career if he has one at all. Really, I mean, he's still in the league, but obviously he's gonna oh man, let me go lights out. I'm gonna make sure everything's like fire. I'm gonna make sure everything's like on point. But these guys are young. Levis, Bright are young. Yeah. They're young guys. Like, give them that chance, man. Will Levis looks good. From what I saw last year, he looked good. He has what you are looking for.
I'm not saying it's his last snap in the NFL. I'm saying if you're the Titans organization and you were just 0-3, now you're 1-3, you got your first win of the season, and the reason you got that win is because your quarterback play was really good after Will Levis came out.
Right.
What do? You gotta keep Mason Rudolph
and then you have a conversation with your quarterback, right? You go on your after the game's over, you have your week of training. You have a conversation with your quarterback and let him know, hey Levis, Mason Rudolph did really well. We're gonna start him, but you're our guy.
Yeah,
we need you to learn. We need you to do this.
If you go into it like that, I think Will Levis will be good.
Yeah,
and I mean, no one's taking anything away like that against Mason Rudolph because he does have that experience, and he's seen a lot of defenses. He's seen a lot of coverages. He's controlled an offense. So
he learned from Big Ben.
He does have
which is a Hall of Famer.
You know what I mean? So he can get something out of Mason Rudolph, but he just won't be. He won't be the. He's not gonna be the red rifle, if that makes sense. Like, Andy Dalton, he has slayed the ball.
Yeah.
Mason Rudolph, he's started games and he has won games, but he hasn't been like the guy. You know what I mean? Whereas Andy Dalton has been the guy. So I mean, unfortunately, the Bryce Young thing, that's done, bro. He's never gonna start in this league for the Panthers again. He may be somewhere else, but there's no development there. And I was hearing something earlier. And I mean, I don't even know how we got to the Panthers. We're really talking about Mason Rudolph, but it was just tough to see like the people celebrating when Andy Dalton had a touchdown. I'm sure it's going to be like that for Will Levis. You know what I mean? He wants to throw those touchdowns, and he's a little reckless with the ball. So maybe that'll be the main thing that Mason Rudolph can teach him is how to control the ball. Because one thing, Mason Rudolph, he did a pretty good job of like not doing like too much to lose the to turn over the balls and stuff like that.
He was conservative.
Very just a game manager. So maybe he can get something out of that. But I think like you said, Will Levis will be the future. Yeah.
It'll be the future. But
as long as they're And I agree. And I mean, I know he was hurt or whatever, but against Green Bay, he did decent. He didn't do bad. I mean, 26 for 34, 260 yards, 2 passing TDs. Yeah, he had the 2 picks, but I mean, for a young QB, that's pretty good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, now we got the Browns game. Browns suck again. Raiders win 20-16. Story coming out of that game: Devontae Adams. He's probably not going to be a Raider again. We'll see where he ends up.
So many rumors about that guy, man.
So many rumors. I hope he comes to the Steelers. We definitely need a wide receiver.
I hope he comes to the Cowboys, man. If we ain't got a defense, we should at least have a powerful offense.
Let's be honest, he's going to the Jets.
If he's not going to the Jets, I've heard Saints.
That would be a good possibility. The Jets.
I think the Jets have the better opportunity or better chances of
I don't know the cap space situation for the Jets, but that would be crazy if he reunites with Aaron Rodgers, which I'm sure he wants to do.
But with what the Raiders are looking for, I don't know. I think the Jets probably have a better possibility of doing it, but they're looking for like second round pick, money, incentives, and stuff like that. So
the Saints can do that too. The Saints have cap space. They have.
They could.
Assets. They can do it.
But it might run into the same situation. He went to the Raiders for Derek Carr, and they traded Derek Carr. How long is Derek Carr's contract with the Saints?
Shit, I don't think Derek Carr's going anywhere, man. He looks pretty nice in that defense. In the offense. So I think that might work out. You know what I mean? That might even get Derek Carr to sign like a team-friendly deal, saying, "Hey,
if the Who Dat Nation gets Devontae Adams, man,
that's big, man."
I don't even want to talk about the Who Dat.
So we'll see. We'll see what comes out of that game. At
this time, they should have already got a new stadium if they're trying to, you know what I'm saying?
Superdome is nice.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's old, though.
It is very old.
It is. Hey, come to the Cowboys, Adams, please.
All right. Next, we got the Commanders. They looked good. They dominated the Cardinals 42-14, who had just come off a hot game. Commanders look like a squad, man. Jaden Daniels looks really good. Their offensive line is playing really good. They're looking good over there. I really like what they're doing. Scary Terry's playing well. Defense is playing well. They kind of transformed that whole organization within a year.
Yeah, Dan Quinn, man. You know what sucks, man? I used to talk so much shit about you, and I miss you. Okay. Yeah. But anytime you put a 40 piece on a team, that means you're doing good, bro. And everybody slept on the Commanders, so
they should have fired McCarthy and put Dan Quinn and gave him the position.
I would have took it. I would have
taken 100%.
I don't really get off to Mike McCarthy, so
like Dennis Rodman said, defense wins championships, baby. If your defensive coordinator is the reason you're winning games, because let's be honest, that defense was winning games.
Bro. Yep. Look at D'Amico. D'Amico turned that team around, bro. It seems like the defensive coaches nowadays are just with it, bro. And you know what? Anytime the Commanders are the top of the NFC East, that means the NFC least is back, baby. Here we are, bro. Here we are.
And Marvin Harrison in that game kind of went down from the previous week, right?
I mean, he had a monster week. It's hard to relive that, though.
But it says a lot about the Washington Commanders.
Yeah, I was about to say
defense.
Their defense played well.
Yeah, so they planned well and they watched tape. So they prepared for that. Because honestly, on the Cardinals team, like besides Harrison, who's really gonna hurt you?
Trey McBride,
James Conner, Kyler Murray.
Come on,
they have a squad.
They have a squad,
but I mean, Harrison is.
I don't want to sleep on them.
I'm not going to diminish the Cardinals because they do have a squad.
They do.
It speaks more about the Commanders and how well they've been playing.
100%.
Right. So the defense, which comes back to what? Who's their head coach?
I don't want to say it too many times.
You know what I'm saying? Come on, man.
That's all right. We'll see how they go. It's going to be fun to watch them. They are the top of the division right now, which is kind of weird to say, just rolling off the tongue. Commanders being top of the division.
They've only played the Giants, in the division.
Giants play good.
And the Cowboys beat
the
Giants too. Come on.
They barely got past the Giants.
Hey, they barely got past the Giants too. All they were doing was kicking.
They did, yeah. So I mean, we'll see how it goes, right? It's
still
early, but
we got 2 games against them. They got to come over here. We got to go over there. So.
And Connor, to go back to the Cardinals, I mean, he didn't do so well against the Lions, but against the Bills,
are also wagon.
The Bills, Rams, and Washington, he rushed for 122 against the Rams, and 104 against the Washington.
Yeah,
that's pretty good to like
Commanders, aka Redskins, because
the Redskins.
Let's go hardly no Indians.
Next up, we got another snooze fest: Jets versus Broncos.
Bro, the snooze fest of the
you know, it wasn't a snooze fest in the beginning for me because as I was going through my fantasy, the Jets were keeping me alive.
Defense
wise.
It was a defensive game. It was bad weather.
10-9, bro. That says everything, bro.
Very defensive game.
No, I guarantee you, if you were not a Broncos fan or a Jets fan, you did not watch that game, bro.
Yeah.
No, I was watching it. Well, I'm not a fan of it either.
I mean, I tuned in a little bit.
I know you like Aaron Rodgers, though.
No, yes, it's because I have him as my defense.
There you go.
But I'm going to say, it's crazy because you had Bo Nix against the Bucks.
Go crazy.
And he looked freaking amazing. And then he laid an egg.
Well, first half, I think he had 15 completions and -7 yards, which I think has never happened before. So it's kind of like night and day. Yeah. But I don't know how much to attest to bad weather, how much to attest to good defense. All around, it was kind of just a bad game. Jets ended up losing. A lot of things going on right now with the Jets head coach Robert Saleh and Aaron Rodgers. Garrett Wilson's also saying that they're not doing enough offensively. So there's a lot of things going on there. It's going to be good to see how that plays out.
But Brees is definitely keeping him in the game for sure.
No, man, he kind of shrunk too a little bit, man.
A little bit, but he had some pretty good rushing yards. Like, I mean, for as bad as the offense was doing, he kind of kept him going. You know what I'm saying?
Vikings, man. Vikings are legit.
Yeah, Vikings beat the Packers 31-29.
That was a great game.
The score looks close, but they were dominating early.
Oh, absolutely.
Garbage time happens. You know, Packers end up coming back, and they ended up sneaking out a win. Packers have to take another L. It's Jordan Love's first game back.
I think Jordan Love was still hurt. You could see that he wasn't really putting a lot of like pressure on his front foot or his left foot, whatever the injured foot. You can tell he was throwing off his back foot a lot.
I'm sure he's just itching to play, and so that's why he came back this week. But it was a good game. It was a thriller towards the end. Most of the game, if you've watched, it was they were getting blown out, right? Yeah. But they made their adjustments. They tried to come back and make the win. They just fell short. Vikings, the only other team other than Chiefs to be 4-0. Yeah. They're moving, bro.
I think they're for real, man.
They're for real. I really do. Their defense plays well. Their offense is clicking, bro. They're playing so good.
They call Sam Darnold Ginger Jesus.
Ginger Jesus.
That's his name.
Hey, when Kirk Cousins was there, they were okay. But now that they got Sam the Man, Ginger Jesus,
they're playing good. They're playing really good.
They're legit.
Jordan Addison came back.
Oh,
he was hurt.
Came back and had a good game.
So they got two weapons in Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. So
this is all without T.J. Hawkinson.
All without T.J. Hawkinson.
That's crazy.
Man, you like T.J. Huh?
He's good. He's good. He was with the Lions.
Lions. It goes back to what I like to watch.
No, you can't do that, man. Not the Lions.
I didn't say
not the Lions.
They were my second team like you did. I didn't say that.
But the Browns are completely differently. I wasn't the one that said that. Oh, the Heat. The Heat are my second favorite TV show. Favorite Heat and East and West. Heat.
Oh, no, but I said you can only do that in NBA. You can't do that in NFL. Browns.
Well, you know what? I said secret. They're my favorite team.
It's not a secret.
100%, 99 out of 100. The Cowboys, baby. We them boys.
We them boys.
Don't ever bring up the Miami Heat here. Don't ever bring up the Miami Heat.
Bring them up. No, don't bring them up. I hate them.
Jimmy Butler.
Especially when Jimmy Butler comes out.
And he didn't have nothing, none extraordinary.
It's all about business.
He came in normal.
It's all about business.
And he's still going to lose.
We're not talking about basketball. That's coming up in the end of October. But for now, I will say the Vikings are legit. The Packers, they're legit too, man. But they're just coming back off a couple injuries.
They'll figure it out.
They'll figure it out.
Rest in peace, Red McCombs. I wish you would have gotten that deal done and get that Minnesota Vikings back here in the Alamodome. San Antonio Vikings.
The San Antonio Vikings would have been.
We'd be seeing the Sam Darnold at La Cantera, baby.
I would have had I would have bought an AP jersey from the Alamodome, bro.
Oh, I would have definitely bought an AP jersey.
Bengals.
Right. Yeah, we got Bengals. They got a much needed win to avoid the 0-4 start. But they did beat the worst team in the league in the Panthers. So they came out 34-24 on top.
Hey, but I will say, just because you played the worst team and you won against the worst team doesn't mean that it was like, gimme game.
Confidence
because
boost.
Sometimes you need that confidence boost. What do college football teams do in the beginning of the season? They play those confidence boost games, right? They play the the D2 teams, whatever. Some of them don't. But you play those teams to get that confidence boost, and maybe this is what the Bengals needed.
Yeah,
maybe Burrow, Slim Shady,
Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah, needed.
It says a lot about the Commanders, though, man, because the Commanders had a great game with the Bengals, and the Bengals did pretty good against the Panthers. And the Panthers, we thought the Panthers were getting pretty good with the Red Rifle. So I don't know. Bengals needed this one bad, and they're still beat up too because their offensive line is still kind of bad. It's good to see T. Higgins and Chase out there, but they need a little bit more. So at least this can get them on track. Is it too late? Who knows, right?
No, but there was still some on the field issues though with Jamar Chase and the team too. So
there will always be.
I'm just saying, yeah. So I mean, that could be
but he doesn't want to play
a factor
really.
as well.
I don't know who I hate more, the Bengals or the Ravens, but they play each other this week, so I hope it ends in a tie.
Yeah,
if I had
it's
to
like
pick
kissing
one,
your mom.
I would say I would dislike the Bengals more because I actually kind of like the Ravens. I hope they do well.
Hey, low key, Bengals have badass uniforms too, bro.
Nah.
Nah. All right, Jags,
the Browns.
Jags.
That doo-doo Brown's just better.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Don't ever say that.
Doo-doo Brown, bro.
That doo-doo Brown, man.
Let's talk about the sad Jags.
Yeah, Jags are 0-4. They're 3-10.
The who?
Jags.
The sad Jags.
The Jags? They're still in the league?
The sad Jags. They're about to be expanded out to the UFL. Shit, they looking bad.
They should, right? Do the regulation.
Yeah. That's fucked up.
I'm telling you, Jags, since I think November of 2023, they're 3-10. They haven't won a game since November of 2023, which is kind of wild. They haven't been playing well. Trevor Lawrence hasn't been playing all that great. Defense hasn't been playing great at all. They fall to 0-4. They almost had it. They almost beat the Texans.
They did, bro. That game was good.
And
they had CJ Stroud like get ready to cry on the corner. Like it was crazy. They showed him on TV, bro, and I was like, dude, is he okay? He looked like he was gonna cry, and they rallied back, bro. Nobody could cover Nico Collins, dog.
Yeah,
that guy's so good, bro. But it's when you're 6'4" and you can run a 3.4, bro. Like how else are you gonna stop that?
And it's like Stephon Diggs gets a lot of attention, right? And like you can't, like we said before, you can't double team everybody. So like they got weapons, bro. It's gonna be hard to cover everyone.
Yeah,
and
man.
Collins just ends up being open, and
they're not even healthy, man. They got Cam Akers running out there, bro, and that's not even their guy, bro. So
yeah, but with how many weapons they have, they're kind of healthy. I mean,
they're still healthy enough. So you're right.
So they got by. It was a game winning drive from CJ Stroud and the Texans. So they got by on that one.
Easy one.
I think Jags' season is chalk. They're starting off 0-4.
Yeah, and again, it's one of those games where you need one of those confident boosters because CJ threw for 347 yards, 2 TDs. Like, he made up for that previous week where he was like shut down.
Yeah, the Vikings fought. Yeah, that was bad.
He needed this game.
Yeah, he did. He got it. 24-20.
24-20.
Good job, Texas.
It was still close though. 24-20 for 345 yards. Like,
anytime it's a conference game, it's gonna be like that for them. You know what I mean? I think they got another one with Indy too next week. So
Joe Flacco ain't gonna mess around.
Yeah, Jags got.
If Anthony Richardson doesn't play, I think they said he's good, but we'll see.
And Texans got the Bills next week, so that's gonna be hard. So
cool.
We'll see what happens.
I don't know, man. The Bills.
That's different. The Ravens are a whole different breed. So
you're right.
All right, we got Bears. They get another one in the win column. They beat the Rams 24-18. I know Rams did have a lot of injuries, but it was a good one of those confidence boosts for the Bears to go ahead and get that
Bears
win.
needed that.
Yeah, they had a good game from their defense. DeAndre Swift went crazy. He went absolutely nuts on the ground and receiving. I have him in fantasy, so he definitely did me well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like the Texans, right? The Rams are 1-3. So this was one of those games for the Bears that they can use as a confidence builder.
Absolutely. They need it.
And Caleb Williams,
He's learning.
He's learning, but again, wins. Like I was asking earlier, is he a bust or is he not a bust?
I wouldn't say he's a bust because they're racking up the wins, right? And that's the biggest confidence boost, especially when you're learning the game. Now, the question is Jaden Daniels or Caleb Williams, but I think they're not that the Bears have a bad team; they have a bad offensive line. Which is the biggest factor when it comes to rookie quarterbacks is you have to have at least a decent offensive line. And from watching the Commanders games that I've seen and watching the Bears games that I've seen, Commanders O-line is way better.
Oh man, than we ever thought, right?
Way better. And that's not surprising, right? Because I don't think they've ever been super bad, but they are light years ahead of the Bears offensive line.
Yeah.
The Bears offensive line is so bad.
Yeah, I mean, man. For the Bears offensive line, they allowed 3 sacks and a fumble. You know,
that stat right there doesn't even count like the pressures or anything like that. Like this dude's always in duress. Bro.
No, you're right. You're right.
It's terrible, bro.
And imagine they don't even have Aaron Donald on the team anymore.
I know.
So can you imagine, like, if he was on the field, like, what the difference would have been? Like, they probably would have won that game.
So not that I give Caleb Williams a pass, right? But I give it a little bit more grace because it's tough. Like to be a rookie quarterback and come in and you have weapons, but you don't have time, right?
Yeah.
You can't run the ball because the offensive line isn't that great. Yeah, they had finally their first good rushing game that they've had all season. But, you know, if the offensive line starts getting clicking and they start working in unison and they start getting that run game going, you're going to see the pass game open wide up. We're probably going to see the best we've ever seen of Caleb Williams in the upcoming weeks. But I don't think he's a bust. I think it's just going to take a little bit of time for that offensive line to get clicking.
So you're saying take time, let him feel the game.
Sounds like something you say.
Yeah,
Develop
a quarterback.
But they don't have a backup quarterback to like develop, like sit behind and develop.
So why would you still focus and develop this player QB because you don't have a backup? But when you have a veteran backup, you're like, hey, let him go.
They didn't have a veteran backup before.
They did have Andy Dalton for a little bit.
Yeah.
I remember that. They had Nick Foltz for a little bit.
If they had Joe Flacco in the bench, I bet you Joe Flacco would have been played. Nah, I'm joking.
Hey, real quick though, I forgot to mention, man, that when we got to that Commanders game, man, I wanted to say that Jalen Daniels, man, he is my Jack Daniels Player of the Week, baby. He's so good. I just wanted to make sure I put that in there, bro. So
he's been playing well. I'll give him props for sure.
But I will say, I mean, Caleb Williams had the 1 fumble loss, but I mean, DeAndre Swift, like y'all saying, 7 receptions, 72 yards. That's not bad, right? I mean, he also rushed for 93 yards.
This is our first game.
So that's really a good player to have when you're trying to develop a player, aka a quarterback on your team, when you don't really have somebody to be able to like
push the ball down, right? Yeah. That's the thing. Like that's also goes to coaching and scheming, because I did not see like what we saw in preseason where he would do these screens to Swift and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, or at least check down to Swift. You know what I mean? So there's a couple of things that can help.
And I hate to say it, but you know, because Swift came from the Eagles, but like he is that dependable player that Caleb can like go to. You know what I'm saying?
But it all falls back on the offensive line. If your offensive line is not going to have a good game, then you're not going to have a good running game. If you don't have a good running game, you're not going to have a good passing game. So it all really depends on the offensive line. They played better this week, right? They ended up getting the win. You see it in the run game.
But who's the best offensive line in the league right now?
The Eagles, I think it is.
I don't know.
They had a horrible game last week.
No, I would say, honestly, it would probably be the Lions. They're up there. Maybe, I think Niners might still be up there as well. I don't know for sure. But if I were to do eye tests, I would say Lions are up there.
Purdy looked pretty comfortable back there in the pocket.
Yeah, sure. 49ers looked good. And I'm not basing it just off like, you know, who ran the most and who had the most rushing yards, but yeah, it's tough to say.
Yeah.
Saints fall to the Falcons 24-26. Falcons are starting to look good. They're clicking. They're getting more comfortable.
You watched that game?
A little bit.
Dude, that game was gifted to the Falcons, bro. The Saints lost the ball like 3 times. One of them was like at the 5-yard line. They got the
Who lost the ball?
The Saints. It was like a
No. Who lost
specifically
the ball? Derek Carr is still Derek Carr.
Nah, man. It had nothing to do with Derek Carr, bro. It had everything to do with like just shit going wrong, bro. Like, I don't know, man. It was just crazy. Like it was a gift. The Saints gifted that game. Young Hoku, however you want to say his name, bro. He got it, bro. Like he kept them in the contention. Like they did good. Falcons offensively didn't look too hot. Shit, you can ask my homeboy over here, JJ, about about Kyle Pitts.
Oh my god, I don't fucking say his name, bro. It's gonna piss me off. I fucking bro, if he just does something, if they just throw him the fucking ball once, I win my matchup, bro. Like, throw him the fucking ball. He had 0 points.
Yeah, he gave you a goose egg.
Goose egg, 0. Absolutely nothing. Nada, bro. No points whatsoever. Kyle Pitts, bro.
Because he's supposed to be like a TJ Hawkinson or like a Sam Laporta or like a Travis Kelce, you know what I mean? But better. He's supposed to be, or like a Darren Waller, you know what I mean? So it's crazy, bro.
Yeah, crazy. I'm done with Kyle Pitts. We'll get into that in fantasy. But I'm done with Kyle Pitts.
You know, and when he came into the league, I picked him up for the first fantasy as a rookie, and he did pretty good because I don't know, like that was their guy, but he kind of fell off. You're right. Like
that's every year. Every year, I think going into fantasy, this is Kyle Pitts' year. This is the year that they're gonna finally fucking target him. He's 10
Especially
feet tall.
Especially this year, he had Kirk Cochains,
bro, and they're just not. I mean, I guess I think their number one is Drake London.
Absolutely.
But bro, you got just. Throw the tight end
one time,
ball,
right?
Bro.
Like one time.
He didn't even get one catch, bro. He had like
who's his
like
QB?
Kirk Cousins.
And where did he come from?
Minnesota.
From Washington. Actually.
And how's Minnesota doing?
Yeah, but no, he threw Tyler Hawkinson the ball, bro.
Yeah,
Tyler Hawkinson was one of the top tight ends last year.
Yeah, he spread the ball pretty nice out there.
That was the argument going into this year.
Yeah.
Now finally Kyle Pitts has a quarterback who would throw to the tight end. And that's what Kirko did.
Hey, but I will say this: when it comes to the Falcons and like what they're trying to do, if I was Kyle Pitts, I'd be like, you want me to block as a tight end? What the fuck is that? That's ghetto, bro. That's ghetto. We're over here trying to catch balls over here, bro. So
Kirko,
it's tough.
Kirk Cousins, if you're fucking listening, throw the fucking ball to Kyle Pitts.
Don't throw it to Kyle Pitts. Just hand it off to your best player on the team.
Just fucking retire. That's what I would say. Fuck.
All right, everybody, let's get into the chips and salsa of the segment here. We got our fantasy football league family feud. All right, we'll start it off with my matchup this week. I ended up taking another L. I fall down to 1-3. Going back to what we just talked about with Kyle Pitts, if he just did something, maybe I would have won. I lost 94.48 to 91.10.
To
Rich, the defending champ.
We're literally trying to suppress that guy.
I'm sorry to the league. I failed y'all. I was not able to overcome Rich's team this week. We bounce back. We go again next week. Kyle Pitts, please do something. Kirko, please do something. I'm going to give you one more week before I drop you. Please do something.
Hey, are you in danger for last place? Or what were you at?
Nah, it's still early.
Oh, you're going to last place?
No,
Who's first?
I'm currently in last place, yes.
Oh, you're currently last?
But there's a few of us that are 1-3, so I'm not too worried.
That's cool. Who's first place?
Nobody
special.
Nobody special?
Nobody important.
Nobody special.
Anyways, we'll get to that in a minute.
Okay.
In a minute.
All right, next we got Isaiah versus Mark. Isaiah actually had a dominant win, 155-97. Just keep in mind, he did have...
Hey, good job, Isaiah, for knocking down the number one, baby.
Yeah, Mark was number one in the league. He ended up beating him. Derrick Henry went crazy for him. He had 36 points off of a phenomenal week with the Ravens.
That's for sure.
Bro, it started off with Derrick Henry getting that 87-yard run.
Yeah.
So, from that point on, it was... You know what's crazy? Is that conspiracy. And by the way, all charges have been dropped now that Isaiah Pacheco's basically injured. But anyways, dude, that completely shifted the freaking... the table, bro.
And that's with an Andrews nut.
Yeah,
he gave him a 0.
Oh,
he still had 155.
Mark,
155.
So he also had Jaden Reed, who went off. He had a 27-point game.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of got a good squad.
And the Browns did really great for the defense compared.
They had a touchdown. That's why they lost, but they had a defensive touchdown.
Oh, I didn't see that.
And then he had Aubrey, which. He's the Cowboys' best player, and
best kicker in the league.
Let's be honest.
And you know what? He scored 155, and that wasn't even his best lineup. He could have literally put in Michael Pittman. Yeah. He got some better points. He could have put in Isaiah Likely, got some points. So
Isaiah's got a squad.
And you know what?
Isaiah Likely only gave him 3.
No, but it's better than a goose egg.
Yeah, it is better.
It's better than a goose egg.
But I'll tell you this.
But his goose egg was at tight end, which was Likely. So
yeah, it would help him any little bit. He didn't even play his best lineup. and he would have got 160. He would easily would have won anyone
crazy.
against us.
I think Isaiah scored the most points this week out of anybody.
Yeah,
in
he
the
absolutely
league,
did.
Good thing we're not doing highest points. We're doing head to head.
I know.
Yeah, good job.
You suck again, Isaiah. You suck again.
Hey, I will say this though, man. Hey, he's planning smart, man, because he got Bucky Irving, and I was gonna try to pick him up, and I was like, shit, this motherfucker's already rostered on Isaiah's freaking roster, man. So he's doing his work. I don't know what he's doing, but he's doing his work.
I had T. Higgins last year, and he didn't do so good because of his chest injuries, but he's doing pretty good this year.
All right. So we got the next one. We got the Saints row Jesus. He lost bad,
bro. He lost before the week was even over,
bro.
Who did you lose to?
To some jabroni called Dak Street Boys.
Dak Street Boys, man. That jabroni must not know what he's doing or something.
Let me tell you what happened, man. Let me tell you how my week went. First of all, I'm over here thinking Thursday night football. The defense of the Dallas Cowboys can't stop a fucking cold. You know what I mean? So what's gonna happen? Devin Singletary is gonna get at least 100 yards. Gets me 4 points total. Shit. So I already start off bad, right? Then Sunday comes around, and of course, me being the man that I am, I have to go ahead and build a house in 3 days.
Nah.
Let's
go back. Let's go back because that Thursday night game, you had Dawdle on the bench. Let's just be honest. I had Dawdle on the bench.
I didn't think Rico was gonna be able to run.
Hey, bro. Man, he's the only guy that they're giving the ball to.
Yeah,
they ain't giving the ball to nobody else.
Yeah, well, anyway.
As long as you have Vaughn on the starting lineup as your third string back, you ain't trying to give nobody the ball.
I hear that, but look. Then on top of that, I'm building a house for everybody, right? For a whole community by myself in a day, right? And I log in at 12:00 at like 11 o'clock. It says that Joe Mixon is a game time decision. Then all of a sudden, 12:07. I'm cutting the grass for like 1,000 people, and I check my lineup, and sure enough, he's inactive. I'm like, shit. So I fucked up. So I basically handed him, and that's my fault. I'll take full responsibility for that loss.
Nah, because you still lost that game because you only had 93 points, and I had 128.
Yeah.
Mixon would have made that difference.
No, Mixon gives me like 20, right?
He would have made that difference.
And then the Browns, right? Okay, that holding call. Bro, Amari Cooper would have scored like a 70-yarder.
What did I say?
Touchdown.
Amari Cooper was known for what in the Raiders?
Not catching the ball. He caught the ball.
He caught
the ball, but he wasn't the guy, man.
He's the guy there.
He was the guy in the Cowboys, but you know what? I mean, Michael Gallup, like these guys.
Hey, thank you, Mike. Hey, real quick, thank you, Michael Gallup. Hey, I hope you enjoy retirement. I love you.
Yeah, enjoy your retirement.
I was about to say, I know you're not just saying you would rather take Michael Gallup.
No, I'm not saying I'd rather take Michael Gallup. But Michael Gallup had some good games.
So did Amari.
Bruh. So did Amari too. But
okay, I'm not a Cowboys fan, Aldo, but you're saying you're trying to substitute Michael Gallup for Amari Cooper right now?
I wish we still had Amari Cooper. But let's just be real. Like, Amari Cooper, he's like 50-50 when that ball is in the air sometimes. He's dropped some good balls.
That one that he caught,
Cleveland, he dropped some good balls. But he didn't catch that one, you're right.
That one he caught was beautiful, bro.
But there was somewhere he could have caught that he dropped that he still had space to run, and he would have gotten another 20, 30 yards.
I'll give you this. I think they did say during that game, because I was tuning in a little bit, I think they did say he leads the league right now in drops.
Does he really?
I'm just saying.
I think so. And I will say this. Amari Cooper, when did he do so well? When he finally had a quarterback.
Yep.
Right? He had a good quarterback.
Okay, I give you that.
DeAndre Hopkins, he doesn't have a quarterback right now. And when Mason Rudolph did come into the game, DeAndre Hopkins was cooking. He was feeding them.
Oh my God, I can't believe this guy was able to run.
Watson was throwing him the ball.
To Amari Cooper?
No, to Hopkins. He was throwing him the ball
we talking about
Houston. He was throwing him the ball. Because he knew he was going to catch it.
But
D-Hop, yeah.
But Houston Deshaun is long gone.
Yeah, but I knew when you were throwing that ball to Hopkins in Houston, that ball was getting caught.
It's a 70-30. It's never
every more like 90
every time. But
it was that
with
dude.
Hopkins, not Hopkins. I correct myself. With Amari, it's always 50-50 because sometimes he has it ball to chest, and it's just like he just can't catch it, man. Mm-hmm. I'm just being honest.
Yeah,
I will say you didn't have a chance, my man.
That's all right.
128-93.
Long
Doesn't matter who you put in there.
Who's
number one in the league right now?
Enjoy it. Enjoy it for now.
Who's number one in our league?
It's you. And for now.
Ooh.
But hey, guess what?
Hey, Backstreet Boys, I want to put it out there. Backstreet Boys is number one in the league.
Hey, that's why people can't ever like win. Like, you know what I mean? Just be humble. God damn it.
Ain't no humble in here, baby. Nah.
All right, we got the Bucks took the L against the dark horse of the league, Hercules Guns. So Robin took the L to Eddie. Eddie came out on top, 114 points. Robin got 93 points. Eddie's now
he's the second.
1?
Yeah, he's ranked 2 in our league.
Yeah,
and check it out. And he had a rough start, and look, he hasn't lost a game since.
Who beat him last week before he played the Bucks?
Oh my God! Is somebody using Fantasy Plus?
This guy pays for Fantasy Plus.
Boo this guy.
I'll just throw that out there. Fantasy Plus is trash. Don't get it because it had Zach Moss on my bench. Come on, who put Zach Moss on the bench?
Hey, but we had our game of the week last week. Boom or Doom versus Alcatraz and Company. Sosa ended up dominating that game, 139-110. And surprisingly, Sosa's racking up the wins
without a number 1 pick.
Without his number 1 pick, CNC.
It's crazy, dude.
He's figured it out.
Coming to find out, he has two
Achilles tendonitis and both.
Yeah. Shut up.
Yes.
Yeah, you didn't see that?
Yes.
That's what the German people said?
Yeah, so supposedly because he had it in one Achilles, he put so much
pressure on the other
one, and so the other one started. That's what
this motherfucker might not play.
He is not projected to play.
Hey, Sosa should have took my fucking trade offer.
No. He should have listened to Robin. Hey, the Bucks, you were 100% right with the CMC prediction at the draft. Do not pick CMC.
I think he comes back.
I don't think so.
They said
at least not this year.
Nah, they don't need him.
They said
they don't need him.
They said it might not be as bad as it was.
They don't need him.
Well, we'll see what happens.
I would let him sit and rest. They don't need him.
Come playoff time, maybe he comes back, takes him to the Super Bowl.
Nah, they don't need him right there this year.
Let me ask y'all, real quick, is there a chance that Alcatraz and Company, a.k.a. John, ends up at the 12th spot for the third year in a row?
The only reason I think he lost was because Etienne, what's his name? Etienne,
Travis Etienne.
Travis Etienne. He didn't really do so well, but I mean, he's playing for the Giants.
Apparently, he got hurt. He got like a shoulder or chest injury, and then just Tank Bigsby just took over, bro. So but you know what? Like, we can't control that as fantasy owners. We can't control that. So you got to plan ahead. And I just feel like, oh man, I don't know if he can bounce back. He might take that 12th spot. I don't know. It's between between JJ.
I mean, it was a close game though.
I'm not gonna say
it was
that.
No. I think his was for Alcatraz. It was a close game against the Boom or Doom.
Yeah. 139-110.
Yeah,
that's close.
That's
no. Like, again, every given Sunday.
You're absolutely right.
It's just different. Like, you might think 139-110 is not close, but fantasy wise, like, depending on what defense you're playing, things like that, I think it was a pretty close game. 110 compared to like, what's that team called?
Maybe like 155 to like.
I mean, if he played the Saints row, he wins against the Saints row.
He does.
Week,
He's already beat me once too.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, like,
you know what? Let me just shut up.
One week, you're playing the Saints row. The next week, you're playing Boom or Doom.
Yeah,
you win or lose, right? But when it comes to playoff time, I mean, 110 is not bad.
Hey, you getting in the playoffs though? You know what I mean?
I mean, when you're number one, look, I mean, if you're number one, you have a pretty good chance.
And if you're number 6, you okay too.
I'll say this because I'm also 1-3 with John. I don't think it's over.
No, for sure.
Still a lot of games to play. I kind of took 2 back-to-back heartbreakers within like a few points the past 2 weeks. So I definitely think there's room to bounce back, but it's early in the season, 1-3.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of people who are 2-2, and
Yeah, and if you look at the game, right? If you look at Jose's team, I mean, you had Hubbard playing Cincinnati.
Sheba Hubbard, but Sheba Hubbard is playing good.
Right, yeah, but he's playing against Cincinnati, right?
Even last week, though, he went off. And I think the week before.
Right, but look at the teams they're playing. Now, depending on who they play week to week, I mean, once they start playing better defenses,
that's true.
I mean, he's not gonna put up those numbers like that. And then, I mean, Robinson ain't gonna play that well against the Cowboys. Let's just be honest. Like, you know, he's gonna have a good game, but
you also got to keep in mind that Robinson didn't split snaps as much with Austin Eckler because he was out from the concussion the week before.
Oh yeah, he had that concussion.
So he definitely had more touches. Austin Eckler comes back this upcoming week, so that might diminish his touches going into this next week.
And I think the Saints are going to do a little bit better with Kelsey.
Yeah.
So he might not do so hot. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
This was actually Kelsey's first good game.
And then we had Pollard, who, again, as a Cowboy fan, I never really bought into Pollard. I just don't know why. I just didn't. But they played. Look who they played. And I mean, he's not gonna play that well against the Colts. You know what I mean? I think the Colts are gonna be a little bit. Play in Miami. Like, yeah, they have a bye week next week, but when they come back for the Colts, like, I don't think he's gonna play that well against the Colts. So
yeah,
you know, we'll see. Again, it's every given Sunday. I think Alcatraz or John had a good opportunity to win this week, but I mean, next week, you know, he might be better. 110, it's pretty good. Not bad. I think that's a good average to if you want to consistently win games. That's a good average. 139, that's like pretty good. That's above average. Like everyone was hitting. You know what I mean?
All right, next we got Nick. He actually got dominated against Rick, the Punisher.
Lowest scoring game, bro, that he had, man. 82.32. That's the lowest that all week. I think all season. That's tough.
All season?
Yeah, it's the lowest,
that's
man.
Crazy.
Yeah, I remember when he played against Rich. Those two had like high scoring teams.
Yeah. So I mean, week to week, right? It's fantasy football. You never know. He ended up taking the L against the Punisher. So he falls another loss. Rick finally gets one in the win column that he is much needed.
He needed that, man.
Yeah, he did need that. So,
Rick, good job, man.
Nice. Good job, man.
Hey, Rick, you avoided wearing a Hooters outfit.
Yeah. Who does SA Fats play next week?
Oh, I wonder. Maybe the first person or the first team.
First person or the number one in the league?
Oh my God. Hey, you know what? Next week we're gonna revisit this.
We are gonna revisit this.
I just want to see how humble you are next week, man. You better be humble, baby.
Yeah, I've said this last week, and I don't know if I said it the week before, but I'm not looking forward to playing SA Fats, or I'm not looking forward to playing
the Bucks.
Yeezy taught me.
Really?
Because that game, they were like 100 and plus 20.
Yeah, but he took a big hit this week with losing Rasheed
Rice. That's
big,
no,
I agree.
That's
I agree.
Like 20 points right there.
When I first mentioned before, I was like, man, once we get to play those two, it's gonna be tough because they have some solid teams.
So it's hard, right? Because he lost Rasheed Rice, and he didn't lose Tyreek Hill, but
he basically lost
Tyreek Hill. He's not playing.
Yeah.
Not that he's not playing well, but they don't have a quarterback right now, so that's tough.
But he has Kareem Hunt, who did really well for him. I mean, he had Swift on the bench.
Good pickup. Kareem Hunt, a good pickup.
And they had Swift on the bench.
I understand doing that because, like, Swift ain't done shit all week, so all season. So.
And then Thomas on the bench, too. Like, he has his bench is double digits.
Yeah.
Well,
so was mine, though. So I would, if I just put in a tight end, if I put a tight end who didn't get 0 points, I wouldn't beat him.
Like, Thomas and Swift on the bench alone is...
You live and you learn.
40 points right there. 40, 50 points.
Hey,
off the bench.
But speaking of Rich, let's talk about it, man. Game of the week. The Battle of the Birds.
Battle of the Birds, baby.
Yeah, going into this week, we got our game of the week. Richard versus Mark.
Storm the Court versus Yeezy Taught Me. And you know what's nice? It's a close one, man. I mean, right now they haven't updated their rosters, but as of now, it's projected to be 105.8 to 101.55 with Storm the Court winning, which I don't know, man. Like you said, losing Rice is big, bro. Huge. It's gonna be hard to replace a person that honestly he can get you like at least like 15, 18 points every game.
Yeah,
so
no, I agree.
That's tough.
I mean, we got number 2 versus number 7. Battle over the Birds. I mean, that's going to be a good game.
Yeah,
two Eagles fans going head to head.
I know, right?
I know they're feeling bad after this week.
Mark's like, Nick Folk is the best, and Rich is like, nah, Carson Wentz is the best, and then they go, and then they go fucking lay eggs or some shit.
Go lay eggs.
I really wonder what it's like to be an Eagles fan.
Hey, but
probably depressing.
Yeah, very depressing. They could probably go eat Philly cheesesteak somewhere and like talk about like.
I don't know. Actually sounds fucking good. Wait a minute.
Yeah, Philly cheesesteak is fire.
Damn, I just had a Philly this morning.
Okay,
too.
maybe I should.
Whoa, what were you gonna say?
Whoa,
wait a
hey,
minute.
You tell me I hope you win, and keep me in.
Yeezy taught me you hope you win.
I hope Yeezy taught me wins.
The whole game plan of the whole team is to make sure that Yeezy does not buy another car based on our money.
Yeah,
bro.
that's right. Because we don't want him to.
Yeah.
Hey, word on the street, he ain't got a Tesla.
We want to help him pay his electric bill, right?
No, he don't want
a Tesla.
He sold the Tesla. He's got a big old truck or
Yeah,
something. Now we gotta pay his gas.
Now?
Yeah,
now we have to pay his
gas.
truck.
Yeah.
I'll pay for your gas.
Hey,
if you stuck with a Tesla and you have to pay electric, I'll be like, nah, man, get out of here. But I'll help you with your fuel. I'm a fuel.
I pay gas too, bro. Pay my gas.
No.
Nah, you're like last place, bro.
Wow, I'm in 6th place. That's him. He's in last place.
Hey, Easy, tell me, give me a ride, baby.
Hey,
right,
good luck, y'all.
That's the game of the week. Next, we're going to segue into really quick just our week 5 recap. We're kind of just going to breeze through this, just make our picks what we think for the upcoming week. First game, we got Thursday Night Football, Bucks versus Falcons. Jesus, who's coming out?
Bucks, man. I think the Bucks can get it, man. They got a nice defense. I think Baker Mayfield is rolling, so I feel like he's going to be good, man. I think Bucks 27, Falcons 18 maybe. I don't know.
It's tough, man, because every week, like, I'm thinking the Bucks are like, man, they're done. But then they come back in the following week and like, man, they look really good. So it's hard to say. Bucks are good one week, suck the other. I'm still gonna go with Bucks just because I like Baker. So let's go Bucks.
Awesome.
Cool. Next game we got Sunday morning. This is the NFL's game in London. We got Vikings versus Jets. I'm taking Vikings
all day.
I'm going with the Vikings too.
Let's just be real, man. The Vikings are the team, man. They're the team to beat.
Hey, all I gotta say is Ginger Jesus.
Ginger
it, baby.
Jesus.
Sam Darnold, dog.
All right.
Mono.
All right, next game, we got Sunday Night Football Showdown. Game of the week for us here at Brotherly Banter. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Dallas Cowboys. You already know my pick. I'm going Steelers all the way. I think it's going to be 35-28. Jesus, what do you think?
Listen, I love my boys. I'm a realist, though. We are riddled with injuries. I do think we are going into the field formerly known as Heinz Field.
Tough place to play.
Tough place to play. We are going to take the L and go home and figure it out. This is what it is, man. I'm a realist. All right. Hey, Aldo, what you think, man? I see the face.
I don't care if you're a realist or not. You never root against them boys. Look, I'm going to tell you right now. I know they're playing at Heinz Field, but I think they got a lot to prove. I know they have these injuries.
I hope so, man.
And I think people are going to step up because they came off the win, whether you think it was like, ooh, a tough win, whatever, Giants. But then, when was the last time they lost to the Giants? 2016. Dak hasn't lost to the Giants, right? But they're going to go in here. They're going to play their ASSs off. They're going to win against the Steelers.
Okay.
And they're going to show that they are them boys.
Are we still them boys?
Always. But at the same time, fantasy-wise, I want the Steelers to do well because I have Justin Fields as my QB.
I also have Steelers defense.
I have the Justin Fields as my QB. I want him to, hey, throw a lot of passes, get 400 yards, no TDs. All right, no TDs.
400 yards, no TDs.
400 yards, no TDs.
Oh shit! Hey, you know what? You know what's fucked up is that sounds like a fucking Steelers fucking stat for real, though. No TDs, 400 yards.
For real.
So give me them yards.
All right.
Don't throw any TDs.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
Or if you throw one TD, maybe 200 yards. All right.
Okay.
But I think Dak's gonna throw the ball because CeeDee Lamb showed last week that they paid him for a reason. So I think this week they're gonna do the same, and I think the running game is gonna be a lot better because they're gonna actually watch tape. They're gonna prepare. And they're going to prepare for that defense. And I think they're going to do a lot better in the running game.
I say real quick, the biggest thing right now is really figuring out if Terrence Steele can block TJ Watt. Because, Terrence Steele hasn't been able to block like fucking Legos, bro. Like, he's terrible, bro. So, it's going to be tough. If they can do that, they can get the win. But if they can't, TJ Watt's going to have himself a game.
And this is going to show a lot on the offensive line, and it might make an impact on the draft this year. Again, the Steelers haven't played an offense like the Cowboys.
No, that's what I'm saying. It goes both ways. I told Sosa this upcoming week it's bragging rights. As the Steelers play the Cowboys, so for the next 4 years, that's bragging rights.
Oh my God! I just got a notification. TJ Watt is out with the illness COVID-19 17. Oh shit!
Lamb's gonna go off. Turpin is gonna be decent.
Tolbert?
Dottle is gonna be all right, but I think Ezekiel is gonna go off.
I think the key will be motherfucking Fergie dog, Fergalicious.
I mean, Steelers are gonna score points because the defense is hurting, but I'm telling you, like they're playing a better offense than they've played all year.
Yeah, that's nice.
We'll see. It's gonna be a good game. I can't wait.
We got a nice Monday night one too.
Yeah,
man.
Monday night we got Chiefs Saints. I think Chiefs will come out on top for that. They're still finding ways to win week after week. Andy Reid, you never count out Patrick Mahomes. Who do you have coming out on top for that, Jesus?
I think Chiefs too, man. I think they figure out a way to get Xavier Worthy the ball, and they feed Travis Kelce. Defense holds up. I think Chiefs maybe 31, Saints 17.
I mean, with Mathau injured, I mean that makes a big difference in the game, right? I think he's like a really great player.
Yeah. He might play.
He could if he plays, that makes a big difference because I think they'll either take away Travis Kelce or Worthy or Xavier. I don't think Travis Kelce is that player anymore. I mean, he's a go-to, but with the tight ends,
said though, he brings attention, man.
Yeah, because he's been consistently good. I mean, even Grunk's kind of went downhill a little bit. When he went to the Bucks, Tom Brady found him in like 1 or 2. He wasn't that one consistent player that he threw the ball to. I think Travis Kelce is kind of like good, but
so who do you got? Chiefs or Saints?
Man, that's tough. I'm going Saints.
Saints?
Ooh. Hey, Chris, I'm going with you, boy. Who dat? Don't disappoint me. Otherwise, you're gonna have to take me out for some beers.
Let's go.
All right, next we got Bills versus Texans. I think it's going to be a bounce back game for the Bills. Texans have struggled, honestly, the past couple weeks. They got the win over the Jags, but I think Bills are going to come back with a little bad taste in their mouth. They're going to come back and beat the Texans. So I think I got Bills over Texans.
Nah, I don't think so. Hold that thought. I don't know. I think that the Texans are going to win it just because they're going to plan for the Bills, and the Bills are starting to find their downward spiral. And I think the Texans are a better team than what they were last week.
Both good teams.
Yeah,
I think Texans get healthy. Texans get Joe Mixon back, and they go ahead and they won. But it's not going to be a like dominant. I think it's going to be very close.
No. So I think
it'll be a good game.
I think the
31-28.
I think the Ravens kind of put out the blueprint on how to stop the Bills. Because if you shut down Josh Allen, that's it. Yeah. I mean, you ain't got nothing else.
Totally different, though.
He couldn't run.
The Ravens have so many options.
He couldn't run and do anything.
So you got Texans over Bills?
I got the Texans over the Bills.
I do, too.
I know. Don't punish me. I know. I ain't trying to be a Texans fan. But
here we go.
Hey.
Division matchup. You got Bengals versus Ravens. Both are second and third in the division.
Nah, this is not even going there. Ravens will win that game.
I agree. I think Ravens will win that game. I hope the Bengals lose again. I am a Bengals hater. I'm also a Ravens hater. My goal is that they end up in a tie and Steelers still end up number 1 in the division.
Like kissing your mom?
No, Ravens winning that game. 100% dominating that game.
No, I think Ravens are clicking. A perfect time to click. Exactly. I think even though it's going to be close, I think Ravens come out on top.
Well, and I know you guys don't really understand this because y'all don't know AFC North football. Like I know AFC North football. I think it can go either way. Not my friend. I think what it is that the Ravens needed, and I know NFL, you can go first 2-3 weeks. I mean the Giants did it, right? You can lose the first 2-3 weeks of the year, and come back and just dominate and win the Super Bowl. Yeah,
I think the Ravens needed those first few weeks to lose to understand what they needed to improve on and what they were missing, and I think now they're on a roll where like they're clicking and they're gonna roll.
Hey, Commanders and Browns though. Commanders being the NFC East top dog right now.
I got Commanders winning that one for sure.
I have Commanders winning that one too. Browns look bad, bro.
I think the Browns ain't the best, but I like Myles Garrett, and
He hasn't done anything this year.
No, but you know what? I'm gonna go for the Browns just because I like that dude.
Because you love the Browns.
I like that dude Brown, baby.
You love that dude Brown, bro.
I will never go for the Commanders. I don't care what you say.
I won't either, bro.
I will never root for the Commanders.
Right,
I will never root for the Commanders. I'll never root for the Dirty Birds, and I'll never root for the Eagles.
Which one's the Dirty Birds? The Falcons?
The Falcons.
Oh, okay.
I never root for the Falcons.
They're all dirty fucking
because
birds,
they did
bro.
Michael Vick dirty. Even though he did dirty, but I will never go for the Falcons, and I'll never go for the Eagles, and I'll never go for the Giants.
America's Game of the Week.
America's Game of the Week. We got 49ers versus Cardinals. 49ers been getting it done. I know they lost CMC. They've had some injuries, but they still had been scoring a lot of points.
Yeah,
Debo's back.
good.
Debo's back. Yeah, they're playing well.
Hey, Kyle Shanahan though don't give a fuck who you are, bro. I love that about. I hate the 49ers, but bro, Brandon Ayuk showed up with the wrong shorts to practice. Sent him fucking home, bro. I love that, bro. I love that. Like, it don't matter your status, bro. Like, you have to show up and you have to be disciplined and you have to play ball, bro. I love that, bro. I really love anything that comes out of like that Kyle Shanahan tree, bro. I love it, bro. And you know what? I really wish one day we could like just catch on and maybe get ourselves a good coach like that, bro. Because that obviously that shit's winning. I know right now like it's not working for Miami right now, but like every other team that has some kind of like Kyle Shanahan like coach has done really well. So I think 49ers over Cardinals. Sure. Unfortunately, I think Murray has a good game. I think Harrison has a good game, but 49ers just control the game.
I think they win, come out on top too.
No, I agree. I think the Niners are going to win that game.
Hey, so that one, we are 100% on that one.
No, we all agree. I mean, I have Debo Samuel. So
okay.
I didn't drop him this year.
Hey, I got Greg Jennings too, though. So.
I didn't drop him.
We all got a little 49er piece, dog. You know, say, hey, you got to get on it when you get it. Dog.
Last year I dropped though, and it hurt me, but
no, I know you did.
Hey,
it hurt me too, bro. It hurt me too. When that motherfucker couldn't catch a fucking ball.
That's why I dropped him.
God damn it.
Hey, that's a good Week 5 slate. There's other games, but these are some of the most important
we just wanted
ones.
to highlight some of them.
Yeah, those are some of the good ones. So that's it. That's all we got for you guys this week. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Brotherly Banter. We appreciate all the love and support.
Hey, man, please like and subscribe. Post a comment, man. Y'all have questions in our YouTube, or if you have any questions, man, please let us know. We love the feedback, man. We appreciate it, and we appreciate y'all listening to us. And just keep it up, man. Just let us know what y'all like, and we'll continue to give you great content, man.
Yeah, for sure. So give us that feedback. We really appreciate it, and hey, keep listening. We got more content. Hopefully we'll start bringing in some guests in here. Give us some.
Maybe next week, man. Maybe we introduce y'all to our commissioner.
Yeah. We're gonna plan that for sure. We're gonna plan that commission. Hey, commission, you're listening. Hey, let us know when you're available. Let's try to get you in here. Let's talk about the league and
a couple
and
other guest analysts that we can have. So
and hey, NBA season's coming up, baby.
Coming up.
Yep. We also have MLB playoffs, man. We may be covering that a little bit. It sucks, man. Astros is in it. Texas ain't, but
yeah, man.
We'll see what's up.
Cool. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in.